is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee. Welcome to a Hump Day edition of Main Street Sports. Today on the program, we'll be joined by sports editor of Main Street Prep's Russell Vanozzi. Also, in our second half, talk a little Blue Raider sports with the one and only Chip Walters. Also, plenty of college hoops, baseball, both the college and pro variety. Will MLB ever get going again? And it's Wild and Wacky Wednesday. All that coming your way right now on Main Street Sports Today. Here's the Hall of Famer and Sports Writer of the Year, Mo Patton, a man who never sleeps, and the Sundrock Kid from Alabama doesn't know sleep in his own right with a little baby girl, Chris Yao. Happy Hump Day, gentlemen.
He ain't wrong. I was up. Do you know why there were no box scores in last night's story? Because Charlie was waiting for me to get done with our story to take her to bed.
Oh, goodness. I noticed that there were no box scores, but I know that sometimes you put them in and then you go back and put the box scores in.
That is exactly what I was doing. I put her to sleep, went back, put the box scores in and the pictures, and it was a night, man. Oh, welcome in. It is a Wednesday edition, and so excited to be here because it's Wild and Wacky Wednesday, and I found the best Twitter account ever for Wild and Wacky Wednesday. So it's going to be a good day.
It's like, where have you been
this
all my
whole
life?
time?
Yeah.
All right. So let's do this.
Mhm.
JP told you everything that we got going on because we have two top stories. One is just like an update. Hey, MLB's not playing. But yeah, big news out of high school baseball, preseason baseball polls. Who knew in high school that you could have preseason baseball polls? But apparently they're out. So we'll get into those here in a moment. So let's go ahead and jump right in and give you yesterday's results, today's schedule on the rundown.
This is the Rundown.
In high school boys basketball action on Tuesday night, this is region semifinal action and Heartbreak City, Part 2, following Monday's girls. In Region 5 1A play, Richland defeated Moore County 64-46. Also, Santa Fe with a 45-43 win over Fayetteville. In Region 5 2 semis, it was Fairview 54, Harpeth 48. The Yellow Jackets will play Summertown, a 61-54 winner over Cheatham County. In Region 6 4A up at Summit, it was Ravenwood defeating Franklin 55-38, and Independence with the huge victory over Columbia Central 75-46.
Win the one that matters.
There you go.
JUCO baseball here in Columbia yesterday. Big wins for Columbia State, 9-8 and 13-12. So,
and that 9-8 win was after being down 5-0.
They were down 5-0. That's right.
Yeah.
In softball action, Columbia State went down to Bevel and took it on the chin, 7-0 and 4-1. In NCAA men's action, A-Sun tournament play, Lipscomb 74, North Florida 65. Bisons advanced to the second round.
Bisons, plural.
13th ranked Tennessee exercised some demons last night. 75-68 winners over Georgia. And Vanderbilt, well, Vandy gone Vandy. Florida 82, Vanderbilt 78. How they got there is the worst part.
Yeah.
NCAA women's today, SEC tournament action at Bridgestone Arena. Vanderbilt advances with an 85-65 win over Texas A&M.
Ending Gary Blair's coaching career.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Tonight, girls basketball action, Region 5-2A championship at Mount Pleasant. Summertown versus Loretto. Stop me if you've heard that matchup before. Part 4 this season. Part 7 over the last 2 years. Is that right?
No.
8.
Yes,
Yes.
that's correct. 8.
Goodness gracious. 7 o'clock tip out at Mount Pleasant. Run through the pizza place on your way. NCAA men's basketball action today in ASUN tournament action. All these on campus sites. Lipscomb at Liberty. Goodness, they just played last night at home. Lipscomb at Liberty, 6 o'clock start on ESPN Plus. Also, this is a regular season game. MTSU is at Charlotte at 6 o'clock on ESPN Plus. OVC tournament action at Evansville, Southern Illinois. Edwardsville plays Tennessee State at 6:30 on ESPN Plus, followed by Tennessee Tech and Austin Peay at 9 on ESPN Plus.
So I fixed the women's. I did not fix the men's schedule. That's my apologies. Regular season play, Charlotte is at Middle Tennessee State women at 6 o'clock tonight on ESPN Plus. In SEC tournament action in progress at the end of the first quarter, Alabama leads Auburn 22-15. In OVC play, also in progress, we have Tennessee State in the third quarter up 32-26 on Eastern Illinois. You can see that on ESPN Plus. And in ASUN tournament action tonight, North Florida is at Lipscomb. That's a 7 p.m. tip on ESPN Plus, not ESPN. And the Preds are taking on the Kraken tonight. That's a nationally televised puck drop at 9 p.m. on TNT.
Let's hope they aren't released.
Yeah, keep them balled up tonight. That's going to do it for today's rundown. All right, got the opening pitch because both of these stories are baseball stories, but officially Major League Baseball games have been postponed. I want to make it very clear to all of you, baseball can be played while CBA negotiations are going on.
Mm-hmm.
Major League Baseball owners are locking out players and are canceling games. This has nothing to do with the players. The fact is, in 94, we had a strike. That was the players.
This is a lockout.
This is a lockout. This is the owners.
Yep.
So, the first two series will not be made up, which is interesting because the Braves were set to play 2 division opponents
On the road.
In those first 2 series.
As someone posted on Twitter,
Philly and New York, right?
So, yeah, I believe so. So, there's still an opportunity for the Braves to open at home for the first time in
14
forever.
years, I think.
So,
anyway, owners continuing to lock out players. Just know that's the fact.
mm-hmm.
All right. Secondly, Tennessee Baseball Coaches Association released their preseason high school baseball polls for 2022. I didn't even know preseason high school baseball polls existed, Mo.
And I'm just going to take your word for this one because at one time I was on their mailing list, but apparently I no longer am because I don't see this and can't find it. So just
well, we'll run through
roll through it.
Obviously, who's Class 1A's number 1? The defending champ.
East Robertson.
Moore County sitting at number 2, who is the defending runner-up.
That's easy enough. I'm interested to see what both of them have got coming back, though, because the East Robertson pitcher who was so good, who had committed to Vanderbilt.
Did he ever even pitch in the tournament?
He pitched in the finals.
Oh.
He did, yeah, because I had to go back and look at that. I could not remember him pitching. He did not pitch until Friday against Moore County.
Well, I guess if they've got any of those pitchers coming back, they're going to be all right.
I guess so. Yeah.
South Pittsburgh, North Green, Eagleville at number 5. That's solid for them.
Eagleville coached by Eddie Bassham's son.
Oh, that's right.
Brandon. Yeah.
Yep. That's and
so
then
Mount Pleasant native.
The
Brandon
only
Bassham.
other 2, South Fulton at 6, Gordonsville, Johnson City, University School Johnson City, Peabody and Trousdale rounded out. In Class 2A, Loretto and Summertown at 2 and 4.
Coming up from 1A, by the way.
Pigeon Forge, the number 1 spot there. Watertown at 3. Loudon, Alcoa have 5 and 6. Decatur County Riverside coming in at 7. Westview at 8. Forest at 9. And Scotts Hill at 10. In 3A, it's our boys from Savannah, Hardin County coming in at number 1. Gibbs, followed by Seymour, Greenbrier, Brighton, Signal Mountain, Greenville, Lincoln County, Covington, and Hickson. Boy, 3A is just a weird classification, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
for here.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like there are no 3A teams in this area outside of, I guess.
Well, and District
County.
8 3A is going to be interesting because you're going to have Page, Spring Hill, Tullahoma, and Lincoln County. So,
man, 4A, Science Hill, Farragut, Collierville, Riverdale, Houston, Beach, Powell, Independence, Bradley Central, and Clarksville. In Division 2, Class A, it's North Point Christian, CAK, Tipton, Rosemont, Grace Christian, and Columbia Academy coming in at 4 and 5. Good Pasture, Middle Tennessee Christian, DCA at 8, Silverdale at 9, and Clarksville Academy at 10. In 2A, it's Baylor School, Lipscomb Academy, McCauley, Briarcrest, Pope Prep, CPA, Christian Brothers, MUS, Knoxville Catholic, and Father Ryan. So that is the top 10 for all 6 classifications for the preseason via the Tennessee Baseball Coaches Association. So interesting. We have a great show coming up, and we continue it on the other side of the break because we get a chance to talk to Russell Vanozzi of Main Street Preps, the editor. We'll talk some hoops with us and maybe a little hockey on the other side of the break. Stick around on Main Street Sports Today. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Hey, welcome back in. It's the Sundrop Kid from Alabama, Chris Yao, alongside the Hall of Famer and National Sports Media Association Sports Writer of the Year for the state of Tennessee, Maurice Patton. The man, the myth, the legend. Excited to get into some high school hoops and more in this segment because we know who's going to be in the sectional rounds. We are now in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it like that, it's pretty impressive, and it's felt like a whirlwind to get here. But yeah, tonight's and tomorrow night's games will be for home court. But you know, this is one of those 3 games that you can lose in the postseason and still get to Murfreesboro that a lot of people kind of struggle with the concept of, and I can understand that struggle, but it's what we've got. So
I want to go ahead and bring Russell in
Mhm.
real quick. So Russell Vanozzi, editor of MainStreetPreps.com, joining us now at Russell_V_MSP on Twitter. Russell, what's going on?
Hey guys, thanks for having me. It's kind of what it's all about, right? Week 16, Division II state tournaments are really down to kind of the nitty gritty in Tennessee high school basketball.
It really is. And today we learn about some East Tennessee sanctions. TSSAA sent a letter to both Farragut and William Blount high schools as they were involved in a on-court altercation last night. No winner declared in the game because it had to be stopped due to a fight that led to players from both teams coming onto the court. Both teams have eliminated themselves from tournament play. A bye will be placed in the bracket, and neither team will advance to the final round of the regional tournament, which means whoever
Comes out
won
of that cross
last
bracket
night in that cross bracket is in the
is
state
in
tournament.
Murfreesboro. So we've got two
Two teams in Murfreesboro already.
Oh, there you go. Who do
And
they cross with? Do we know?
They also have been assessed a $250 fine
Each, I guess.
each school. So there you go. All right. I'm in the Class 4A East Region tournament, and that means it's
going to be Region 1.
it does not. Are they in 3A?
Farragut and William Blount. Is that what you said?
Yeah, they can't be in 3A.
Farragut and
I
William
believe,
Blount. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I believe Bearden, looks like Bearden has advanced to the state tournament if they don't have anybody to play. And then it looks like the winner of that Science Hill Dobbins Bennett game.
Well, wait a
tomorrow
minute.
night will
Okay,
Okay.
hold up. So it was Farragut and William Blount
qualified.
boys, right?
In the semifinals.
In the semis.
So Bearden
So Bearden,
will have an opponent, but whoever wins between Walker Valley and Coffee County
that's not
will
right.
advance.
Because they're in Region 2.
No,
so you got to
yeah.
look at Region 1.
Yeah. Bearden, according to the TSSAA site, Bearden is
I'm sorry, Science Hill.
looks like they are going to be in. Or sorry, yeah, it looks like Bearden. You're right. We'll have an opponent, and then the winner of that Science Hill Dobbins Bennett game tomorrow night looks like they get an automatic. They don't have to play a sectional game.
That's
they will
correct.
have an opponent.
There it is. The winner of Science Hill and Dobbins Bennett gets a spot.
So Bearden is the Region 2 champion.
That's correct. And they will play the Science Hill Dobbins Bennett loser.
And the Science Hill Dobbins Bennett winner is in Murfreesboro.
Is in Murfreesboro. So we'll have a team Thursday night advance all the way to the final 8.
And I can guarantee you that whoever that team's coach is will be at Monday's sectional doing a little scout.
Oh, there's no question.
Yeah. So
Anyway, I just want to get that because that just happened like a few minutes ago. TSSAA, our friends at 5 Star Preps, Jesse Smithy, doing a fantastic job. They posted that to their Twitter. So if you want to read the letter in full at 5 Star Preps, you can. But let's move back to the mid-state. But before we do any of that, Russell, we have to talk about this. I'm sorry, we have to talk about it. Everybody, to my knowledge, has been unblocked from Raptor_hockey on Twitter. So
Yes.
this is great.
Yes.
But were you weren't one of the ones blocked, were you?
Well, okay, yeah. Funny story. I'll try to make this as quick as possible because it's probably not the best, not real great radio here, but yeah. So
as if the rest of this is
January. Yeah, that's true. Just we were some. I was getting ready to go out cover my first hockey game, and of course doing a little bit of research beforehand. And I pull up the Ravenwood Twitter, and I noticed hockey Twitter. I noticed that I'm blocked, and I hadn't recalled any interaction with that account ever by either my account or the Main Street Preps account, and I found that both were blocked. And so I basically reached out to the lead director and tried to get some contact information for the team because I was like, well, this is a mistake, and it's pretty hard to cover a team when you can't even get through to their Twitter and any of their information. So, anyways, long story short, I got unblocked. there was no explanation given as to why that happened, but I thought it was weird and kind of just moved on.
Until last night.
Yeah, the last couple of days. Then I found out apparently I was one of thousands or at least hundreds that were blocked. So that made me feel a little bit better about it. They weren't just targeting me. But yeah, I actually learned later on last night. I was curious about this, guys. How you could actually block that many people without doing it manually. And apparently there is a Google Chrome extension that you can get where you can block one person, and then you can also block their entire following. So let's say they blocked one person that had 5,000 followers, and use that Chrome extension, they could theoretically block everybody that had anything to do with that one person. So I really think that must have been what happened, because I can't imagine it being too practical to sit there and just block literally every sports-related Twitter.
Otherwise, you're kind of the minute bowl of Twitter, right? Just or Dikembe Mutombo.
Maybe that's how you got blocked on
way back.
Stackhouse's
Minute
Twitter.
Bowl.
No.
No, Stack definitely blocked you on purpose.
I think I was blocked. Yeah. I don't know why, but I don't think it had anything to do with Google Chrome. So yeah,
man, it was a wild night. Everyone posting their screenshots, the badge of honor being blocked by Raptor hockey. Anyway, everybody seems to be unblocked. We're all happy now. Main Street Sports today had not been blocked, so I was able to see it, and it was just interesting.
You know, when you sent that screenshot, I'm like, what is this? And then I saw Casey had posted something later on about being blocked, and so I went back and checked, and sure enough, I was blocked as well. It's like,
come on now.
Why am I blocked by @Raptor_hockey?
And Teresa cracked me up. Teresa Walker says, well, my son played for Centennial. Maybe that's why.
There you go.
Oh, anyway, I just thought that was crazy. It was a wild night last night with Raptor hockey, but Russell, you helped us get everybody unblocked. We appreciate it. Let's talk some hoops,
so
man.
Hopefully everybody can just let's do that.
Let's all just go follow Raptor
hockey. I followed him.
Yeah.
When they unblocked me, I followed them immediately.
Wow.
Their following is going to be huge tomorrow.
Maybe it was actually a strategic brand decision there to kind of get everybody's attention in a real roundabout kind of scorched earth way.
You know,
maybe it worked.
Any publicity is good publicity, right? Yeah.
Apparently.
Russell, we talked a little bit about the region semifinals from the last two nights, and we've got the region finals coming up tonight for home court. And obviously, the biggest game we're looking at down this way is this Summertown Loretto Region 5 2A championship game at Mount Pleasant. The winner will host either Gibson County or Westview out of Region 6 2A. And the loser will travel. What are some other games? Obviously, Hillsborough and Ravenwood in Region 6 4A is a big matchup. Cherish Stringfield has the Lady Burros within a victory of Murfreesboro. First time since she's been there in her 11-year tenure. Also, Ravenwood and Reagan Grimes, the Tennessee Tech signee, who is an absolute steal for the Golden Eagles. Told Kim Rosamond as much the other night when I saw her down there. What are some other games that Main Street Preps will be monitoring tonight?
Yeah, definitely that Hillsborough Ravenwood game is what I've got my eye on. Just looking across the bracket there, that's not an elimination game tonight, but it almost is a de facto elimination game because if Cookeville manages to beat Beach, the loser of that Hillsborough Ravenwood game would have to go on the road to face at that point a 30-1 Cookeville team, which I don't think is a situation anybody wants to be in a sectional. So the winner of that game, I think, is going to be in a lot better shape. Some other games that are kind of piqued my interest. Creekwood and Central Magnet are going for a region championship tonight out at Maplewood High School, and I actually think those teams, no matter who wins, could both end up in that Class 3A tournament. They both look like state tournament caliber teams, and they have a somewhat favorable matchup across the way.
Don't sleep on Hardin County, though. Do not sleep on Hardin County in anything.
I think I am sleeping on them, Chris. But Hardin County and Jackson Southside. I don't know. That kind of seems like an area where maybe Middle Tennessee will show some of its basketball strength, but maybe I might be speaking out of turn there. Don't know a whole lot about Hardin County, but and then another one too is tonight. Or go ahead, Chris.
I would just tell you, don't sleep on Hardin County in anything, because for some reason they tend to sneak up on folks.
They kind of sit down there
by themselves.
They're kind of like Henry County in football. They kind of sit down there in the middle of nowhere, just minding their own business. Nobody knows a whole lot about them, and then they rise up about this time of year or this time of the bracket and slap somebody that's not expecting to get slapped. I will tell you, though, this Creekwood team, I don't know a whole lot about them, but I do know that they beat both Summertown and Loretta. So do with that.
Yeah,
what
they're
you
having
will.
a great season, and then Central Magnet too. So I think that could be a great game tonight. And then another one too I've got an eye on is Page and Upperman. Of course, Page has kind of bounced back since taking that really surprising loss to Lincoln County in their district tournament semifinals. They seem like they kind of righted the ship there. And
well, if you ask Lincoln
Page,
County, they certainly righted the ship, beating them 58-25 on Monday night. So the ship has definitely been righted as far as the Lady Falcons are concerned. Yeah, big win there.
And then, so I do think Page. I've been wanting to see Page, but they've been all the way down in Tullahoma for a couple of weeks. It seems like with both the district and region tournament. So I'm sure Page would love for that senior class, including Mackenzie Cochran and Lily Wilkin, to get one more home game in a sectional. So they can get a win over Upperman tonight. They'll certainly be able to do that. And then one other one too, of course, Blackman and Oakland. Don't want to overlook that one. That could be a great game. Oakland just won that matchup a little bit over a week ago for the district championship. And that's another one of those games where, if you lose, you're probably facing a pretty tough road trip, likely to Bradley Central, possibly McMinn County also, which probably had maybe the biggest surprise of the tournament so far in that area, upsetting Coffee County, who we actually had as number 4 in the Main Street Prep Fast 15 rankings last week. So that didn't quite work out, but definitely those are some of the games I've got my eyes on tonight.
I like that they moved that Bradley Central McMinn County game from Coffee County, because I assume it was supposed to be in Coffee County because that's where the region semifinals were played. But they were like, yeah, we're not driving all the way to Manchester to play this game, so y'all can have it. We're playing here.
Yeah, that makes perfectly good sense. Good on them for moving that. Russell, you mentioned your number 4 team in Coffee County going down. I believe at one time Columbia Central's boys were number 4 in your rankings. I don't know where they were this week. I've not had a chance to look, but regardless, they got a little bit of a shocker last night as well in the region semis.
Yeah, Russell did not want to talk to us.
I guess he
that was tough. That was the semifinal day ago. You were tweeting about that, how tough those two nights can be. And yeah, Columbia was number 4 in rankings, and it's a tough way to go out there last night.
Yeah, no question. With the 75-46 loss to Independence. Again, boys region finals tomorrow night. They will play their sectionals on Monday, with the exception of the Science Hill Dobbins Bennett winner. Anybody in particular that you are looking at in those games tomorrow?
Yeah, well, I'll start with the game that I'm going to. I'm heading up to Robertson County, Clay County at East Robertson in the Region 4 Single A title game there, and I think that could be a really great game with Grant Strong, Mr. Basketball finalist at Clay County. They just re-entered our rankings this week at number 15, and then East Robertson has really been right on the cusp too. They've had an incredible run. I don't think they've lost since December, led by, of course, Ole Miss football signee Taylor Grove.
I'm not sure what's we're having some technical issues on the.
I think our pipeline is a little clogged up.
It seems to be, and that's okay.
Well,
our internet pipeline appears to be a little jammed.
Well,
let's do
perhaps
this.
We should.
Let's take a break.
Let's step out.
Let's give it a chance to catch its breath.
Flush it out.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. We're going to continue talking some high school sports on the other side. If we can get Russell back, great. But if not, follow him at RussellV_MSP on Twitter, and of course, MainStreetPreps.com. Come back with us on Main Street Sports today. We'll continue talking a little high school sports and more. Stick around. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
Tune in to the guy that always has a take. It's Casey's Take on Sports, Wednesdays at noon on Main Street Media social channels and wherever you get your podcast. From the Titans to the Vols, local high school sports in his own backyard of Dixon and Cheatham counties, it's Casey's Take on Sports, dropping each Wednesday at noon.
Welcome back in to Main Street Sports today. Just want to give you a quick update. Tennessee State leads Eastern Illinois 49-40 in women's OVC play.
How much time? Can you tell?
7:33 in the fourth. This would be a big upset.
Tennessee, what are the seeds?
Tennessee's, I don't know, but there's Tennessee State 6-12, Eastern Illinois 11-7.
They've only played 8
in OVC play.
Oh, okay.
But Tennessee State is the 8, Eastern Illinois the 5. So
the top 4 got buys then? Sounds like.
Probably. So yeah, that would be a pretty little interesting little upset in the event. I was trying to see if Ellie Colson for Eastern Illinois had made any appearances. She has not made an appearance in this game. So anyway.
Is she a freshman?
I think so.
Sounds right.
Anyway, just a quick update. 50-42 now. And obviously the live scoring is continuing. And then Alabama up 4 at halftime on Auburn 35-31. As we were talking, Russell mentioned he was looking forward to that Clay County East Robertson game. That's going to be a phenomenal game.
Yeah, again, Grant Strong and Taylor Groves, probably 2 of the top Class 1A players, certainly in the mid-state and possibly in the state. Did Grant win Mr. Basketball last year?
And state championship. The defending 1A champs. So
there you go.
In other 1A games, I went to Santa Fe and Fayetteville last night. Santa Fe gets up 21-4, holds on, gets a bucket with 25 seconds to go, a 3-pointer.
Now, were they down then?
They were, in fact,
When-
down 43-42.
When Stewart hit that 3-pointer?
They were down 43-42. Stewart
After leading 21-4.
Yeah.
Man, that'll make you old before your time.
So
Okay, hold up. So I just pulled up the OVC
oh,
women's basketball bracket, and you were besides yourself over the West Coast Conference.
is it the same thing? I love it.
Number 8, Tennessee State is playing number 5, Eastern Illinois right now. The winner plays number 4, Austin Peay. The winner of that one plays number 1, Belmont, and it's the same on the other side with UT Martin and SIU Edwardsville. The winner playing number 3, Murray. That winner playing number 2, Tennessee Tech. So the top 2 teams, they took 8 teams.
Are in the semis.
Yeah, the top 2 teams are in the semis, and 3 and 4 are in the quarters. And so if you're in the bottom half of the top 8, you got to win 1, 2, 3 games to get to the finals.
No, thank you. Whew.
It's interesting. I wonder if the man's the same way.
It probably is. It used to be even weirder, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Anyway, my bad.
Santa Fe Richland playing tomorrow night in boys action at Wayne County.
At Wayne County.
Is what it is.
Yeah, it's a shame nobody's taking the same tack with that they did with Bradley and
Central.
McMahon.
Well, I figure if it had been Fayetteville, Moore County, they might have. But
yeah, I guess Wayne County is in the same district at least.
yeah,
so.
it's pretty. It's not close, but it's not that far. It's an hour 20 from Columbia. So anyway, their cross regions McKenzie and West Carroll, which we saw West Carroll eliminate Loretto last year. So that's a tough cross region. And then and you mentioned in 4A last night, of course, Independence getting the win over Columbia Central. They take on Ravenwood, their cross region being Lebanon and Beach. And we've talked about it on this show. You really want to win the district or the region if you are Independence and Ravenwood. That's going to be a very intense game because you feel like you've got to win it.
The thing is, that's one of those pick your poison kind of deals because, I mean, Beach is undefeated. Lebanon's got the Jared Hall kid who, if he's on the floor, is a handful. Isn't always on the floor. So
that's the thing. I mean, I feel like you take your chances with Lebanon and you just and hope for the best.
Especially when you consider that one of their losses, with all due respect, was the Summit.
So there you go. And then in 2A, which we here in Southern Middle Tennessee, we just have Summertown left, but Fairview, that's who they play in the region finals. That'll be Thursday. They match up with Gibson County and Milan. So obviously Gibson County, very good. And in both boys and girls play. So yeah, I mean,
and one of those teams is coached by Mark Wilkins' dad, by the way, one of those Gibson County teams. Not sure which one.
Well, he came from South Gibson.
He came from South Gibson.
So I guess it's one of those two. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, just saying. A little bit of a local tie there.
And South Gibson's girls got beat by Hardin County, I think.
They're in 3.
South Gibson's girls got beat. I don't know. I don't remember who they got beat by, but
so
for those who care,
Katie Embry and her
Embry's
team has put up the gear. Then.
I did want to talk about one other thing before we get to halftime, and that is TD Bank bought First Horizon. So for those of you who are keeping up with the naming of the stadium in downtown Nashville, where the Nashville Sounds play, First Tennessee
Good
Park,
luck.
First Tennessee Park became First Horizon Park, and now could share a similar name to a park in Omaha.
That's TD Ameritrade, right?
It's the same company.
Is it? So is it?
But I guess it could be TD Bank.
TD Bank
Stadium,
maybe,
or maybe they just keep the name First Horizon and they just own the on the name.
No,
Most of the time, that's not what happens.
No, I mean, yeah, the name's going to change. I don't think. I just think from a branding standpoint, you don't want that First Horizon hanging out there for, a company that no longer exists.
No,
basically.
I'm saying sometimes like a bank like TD Bank will buy First Horizon and not change the
then not
First Horizon name. That's happened before. Doesn't happen often. So it's most likely that, well, First Horizon Park is also going to go away soon too. I think they should just leave it open. Just put park. It should just be, what do you think, JP? Just park?
I don't think anybody's paying for just park, though.
Yeah, that's the downside of that. I do like park as opposed to stadium or field. I like park.
I do too. I like Truist Park. I like that better.
Field is not bad, though. I don't mind field. You know what I like in basketball is field house.
There are a few of them.
Indiana has several.
You've got Hinkie. You've got Allen.
It's a Midwest type thing.
You've got
Apparently.
Anderson right down the street.
Anderson here
That's
in
right.
Columbia.
Yeah. See, I like Fieldhouse. The name Fieldhouse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with that.
Kind of a throwback kind of thing.
It really is. It's better than in Alabama, we had those airplane hangars and we just, we call them Coliseums, but they're really just old National Guard armories that we threw a basketball court in, right?
Might as well get some use out of them. Hardin County did beat South Gibson Monday night in the semis.
Don't sleep on Hardin County. I'm trying to tell y'all. They're good at bowling and they're good at hoops. Halftime coming your way. Let's take a quick break. Y'all stick around on Main Street Sports today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Welcome into halftime. Fellas, it's Wild and Wacky Wednesday, in case you didn't know. We should give you the weirdest and wildest news from across the world, and so we will definitely do that in the second half. So we'll try not to get too crazy in this segment. But I did want I do want to talk about LeBron James last night. Did y'all happen to see him just kind of give up?
No.
So he late in the game against the Mavericks, he flashes to the middle of the paint and tries to post up, and they don't pass him the ball. So he just stands there while his teammates and opponents are trying to rebound, and then walks down the court to where the ball is thrown out of bounds or thrown away or something, and then his guy ends up with the basketball. They shoot a layup. It's just a whole thing. Ooh. This is not unusual for him, but boy, he is just melded in. I mean, the Lakers are bad, but come on.
They are bad. Yeah.
Well, the Lakers
you're supposed to be a leader.
There's that. The Lakers are bad, and there are those that would tell you that he's the GOAT and that kind of thing, and then there's others that will tell you that Michael Jordan would have never done anything like that or whatever else. Kobe Bryant would have done anything like that. It's a whole thing, and I think part of that is why I don't pay any more attention to the NBA than I do.
It's
just a lot of drama. I mean, other than Ja
Morant is worth watching right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question there. I would definitely want to watch him before I watch anybody else. The player impact program. Did y'all see this where Phil Mickelson tweeted that he won the PIP or whatever, and then he didn't because Tiger Woods did? So,
try not to pay a whole lot of attention to Lefty these days.
Well,
had a rough stretch.
Woods ended up beating Phil to claim the $8 million first prize, with the top 10 players getting payments from the $40 million fund. I don't even know how this works. Does anybody know what the PIP is?
I have no idea.
Neither do I.
First time hearing about this.
The only PIP I'm familiar with is Performance Improvement Plan.
Picture in picture.
There you go.
That's the only ones I know either. Well, anyway, whatever it is, Tiger Woods won it. I can't imagine it's an actual golf anything because I can't imagine he's playing golf right now. So, I don't know. Anyway, second half has Chip Walters. We're going to talk college hoops. Plenty of that to get to here in just a minute. So we'll get into it. And then, of course, Wild and Wacky Wednesday. Stick around. Main Street Sports Today returns after this.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
Time for the second half of Main Street Sports Today on this Hump Day edition. Coming up, we'll chat with Chip Walters of Blue Raider Network, his weekly visit on location today, somewhere east of here. Also, a little college hoops tournaments underway. Women's SEC tournament in Nash Vegas happening right now. And it's Wild and Wacky Wednesday. A couple of zany guys on either side of the Duck River. Your choice. Back to the zany guys. Here's Chris and Mo.
And my dad crossed the Duck River this weekend when I took them from my house to their hotel. And he was very excited to have understood where the Duck River was.
Since we refer to it so often here.
He was like, so which side are you zany?
I was going to say, did you stay one of the more zany people when you crossed the river?
As soon as I crossed it, I was on the lower half of zany people.
Okay. So we need to keep you on this side of the Duck River.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently.
For legal purposes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Truth in advertising, right?
That's right.
College hoops tournaments underway.
Apparently.
Tons of women, but mid-majors are underway. Jacksonville State hosting Kennesaw State tonight. A-Sun playing their games at the higher seed, but like you said, Lipscomb played at home last night. They got to go to Liberty today. Like, that's rough.
Would have been even rougher if it had been North Florida.
And North Florida has to come
at Lipscomb last night, and had they won, I assume they would have played at Liberty.
They would have just kept going.
Yeah.
You don't go home from here.
No. Wow. Yeah.
So that's rough. But not everybody's playing tournament ball.
No,
Because
not yet.
Southeastern Conference and Conference USA, which we'll talk about here in the next segment. Southeastern Conference still has some regular season games to finish up, and Tennessee last night finally exercised some demons from down in Athens.
Had not won in Athens since 2011. Is that what I heard?
10 years.
Now, have they played in Athens every year?
That I don't know.
Because, I mean,
there are times.
Do they play everybody home and home?
No.
Yeah, I think the schedule is right now in SEC men's basketball is just a random.
Yeah.
It is very weird.
I know there's no divisions anymore, so I don't know.
There may be one or two teams that you do play every year twice,
but not everybody.
Rivalry games, but not everybody. And there may only be one.
That's not.
Is that not?
Well, that may be true, but they don't also just play everybody else once, because in 2019, Tennessee only played Auburn once, but they played them twice this year. So there's a rotation.
It rotates.
There's
it
a
rotates
rotation
with that.
somehow of teams you play once or twice.
In addition to, I think there is a rivalry
and then there's
team.
going to be one rivalry team like Kentucky, Tennessee.
Tennessee. I think
you're going to play home and home.
I'm not sure who Vandy's is. You would think Tennessee, but if they've got Kentucky, then
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
I don't either.
The SEC basketball scheduling is. I loved it when it was divisions and it was to play everybody in your division twice and everybody in the other division once.
Right.
And it was just easy to remember how that schedule was going to work. But when they did away with divisions, it just became, I don't know, it's some sort of randomization like they did with football, and every 4 years you play it at every cross division school, and it's I don't know, don't care.
Okay, hold up. So they did not play in Athens in 18-19. So that's 1 year. Let's see. Looks like they did not play in Athens in 16-17 or in 13-14.
So every other year.
Yeah, it seems.
So they had lost 4 in a row over a 10-year span.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Their last win in Athens before last night had been on January 18th, 2011. They had since lost once, twice, 3, 4, 5, I think, in Athens. So it wasn't like they had lost 11 straight or something. 6. They lost 6 straight in Athens before.
That's still a lot.
It's still a lot, but it's not like, again, it's not like 10 or 11.
It sounds better.
5.
Haven't won since 2011.
Well,
yeah, it sounds better.
Well, it sounds more dramatic.
It does.
Yeah.
Wasn't that
That's
what
the
we're going
idea.
for here?
Yeah.
Well,
Don't let facts get in the way of a good story, Mo. Come on.
I just want to make sure. I mean, because Georgia has been so bad for so long, I don't know that you want to make UT sound any worse.
Guys, I was listening last night as I was driving away from here. They had the early game, Georgia and Tennessee, and listened to the Tennessee broadcast. By the way, Bob Kessling, program note, joining us Friday. But I didn't realize there were 8 players that transferred out of Athens last year. Many of them are playing at high-level programs. One at Auburn, one at Arizona, one at Missouri, I think. I mean, it's remarkable how many players have left Georgia and what a different team it would be had they stayed.
And that's why Tom Crean is on life support.
He should have been gone longer ago.
I don't know how he's made it through the whole season.
Last night was apparently their 10th straight loss.
They almost beat Auburn at home.
And they did beat Alabama.
And they did beat Alabama
for their lone win.
And Tennessee gets a 7-point win. Wasn't easy. Tied at halftime.
Yeah, they've been competitive.
So
maybe that's why.
Maybe that's, I don't know. I can tell you this. Tennessee was fortunate to get out of there with that win, not just because of it being Stegman, but Zakai Ziegler dealing with a personal matter that I have no idea how he played last night with his family struggling there. His mother's house in New York was completely burned down via fire. And according to Wes Rucker at 244, University of Tennessee started a GoFundMe account for the family and a $50,000 goal. It hit $30,000 within half an hour.
Wow.
That's something.
I can tell you they will hit that, and
It's at 50,827, and it started an hour ago.
Yeah, I'm not shocked at that.
So just, go Vols and all. That's phenomenal. But that kid really did a great job last night powering through that. And now you've got one more game, and it's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a chance to get a little revenge on your home and finish the season undefeated at Thompson Bowling Arena. Arkansas coming to town, so should be a good one. Also, last night, Vanderbilt takes it on the chin a little bit because they were winning 68-64. No,
second verse, same as 72-68.
Whatever.
So, that 4.8278. It was close.
Yeah, it was 72-68 was the final score, and Florida scored the last 9 points of the game.
Oh. Yeah, I was at a high school game last night, so I didn't get a chance to see it. But that's how Vanderbilt has been. They haven't figured out how to win just yet.
That is very accurate.
And I think once they do, they could be a tough out.
Well, they better figure it out quick.
Yeah, run out of games.
Well, I mean, Scottie Pippen came back this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's coming back for another one.
Although projections are mid to late second round. Hey, listen, you'll make more money if you stay in college. You could potentially. If you're late second round. Come on back.
You're basically a G leaguer if you're drafted in the second round.
Come on back to Vanderbilt. He's not hurting for money anyway.
I don't think it's cut and dried, and I don't think it's about money. So we'll see.
That's the big question is how much does he trust?
Yeah,
Jerry Stackhouse.
Yep.
They're 1-5 in their last 6 games. That's not good. Something's going on.
And they've all been close.
West End.
They've all been close, except Auburn.
Yeah, lost by 9 to Tennessee, 2 to Bama, 5 to Mississippi State, and 82-78 apparently last night. I don't know. Whatever it was, they didn't win because they got their last 9 points scored against them.
Yep.
Exactly. Chip Walters coming back on the other side of the break. Stick around.
Welcome. I'm Tyler Palmatier with Main Street Nashville, and this is the Main Street Preps Weekly Roundup. Basketball season's in full form, and we are recovering from a flurry of upsets last week, which saw 4 of the top teams in our Fab 15 girls rankings lose in district championships. Number 1, Blackman. Number 4, Cookville. Number 8, Rossview all fell, and that madness has leaked into this week where our number 4 team, Coffee County, was eliminated from the postseason by McMinn County. That chaos has put some intriguing regional and sectional matchups on the table for this week in Division I, but the biggest stories of this week are going to come from the Division II state tournaments, where mid-state teams have occupied 9 of the available 16 spots in the Division II AA and Single A tournaments. And several of those teams are right in the middle of the title conversation. You've got Ensworth on the girls' AA side, Webb School on the girls' Single A side, Brentwood Academy and boys AA as the arguable favorites coming into those tournaments. And in Division II Single A boys, the Mid-State is guaranteed a team in the finals, with Good Pasture and USN set to play in the semis. MainStreetPreps.com will have live coverage of each game with a full staff at Saturday's championships in Cookville. And don't forget about Division I, where the girls' state tournament field will be decided with sectional games Saturday and the boys will follow on Monday. We'll have a running scoreboard with all of those results as the playoffs press on. So keep everything tuned in to MainStreetPreps.com.
Taylor Groves and the East Robertson Indians are the last team left standing in Robertson County basketball. Coach Craig Caton's team will host Clay County Thursday night for a Region 4 1A championship at East Robertson. Their win over Pickett County in the semifinals was a sight for sore eyes in the county. Greenbrier boys alongside White House and White House Heritage girls saw their seasons end in the semifinal round. White House boys, both Joe Burns teams, and East Robertson girls also had their year end in the region's first round. East Robertson and Clay County played once in the regular season, with the Bulldogs pulling out a 68-53 win in November. Since then, East has reeled off 18 straight victories. Tip is at 7 p.m. at East Robertson. Stay tuned to MainStreetPreps.com for coverage on that game and all things Robertson County sports.
I'm Casey Patrick, and I'm a sports reporter for the Dixon Post and the Cheatham County Exchange for Main Street Preps. In the Dixon Post this upcoming week, we'll have coverage of the Creekwood Redhawks and Lady Redhawks' journey throughout their region tournament, as well as various season previews for the upcoming baseball, softball, and soccer seasons for both Dixon and Creekwood teams. We also hope to cover the middle schools as much as we can and get as much as those guys and girls in the papers, like I said, as much as we can. For the Cheatham County Exchange, Cheatham girls and Cheatham boys are both still playing in the region tournament. The girls just lost on Monday night. We will have an article for them, as well as the boys and the Harpeth boys, who both play on Tuesday night in Mount Pleasant. We will have some stories. Those will be the main stories for the paper coming up for the Cheatham County Exchange. We also plan to hopefully have some season preview articles for softball, baseball, and soccer there as well. You can follow me on Twitter at CVP51, and you can follow Cheatham County Exchange and the Dixon Post on Twitter. Also, feel free to follow Main Street Preps to keep up with pretty comprehensive coverage of the mid-state area. Thank you.
Join Main Street Preps editor Russell Vanozzi and lead writer Tyler Palmatier as they bring you recap and preview of the week's biggest high school sports news from around Middle Tennessee, airing live Wednesdays at 1 and archived on social media and on your podcast distribution platform of choice. Follow at Main Street Preps on Twitter and online at mainstreetpreps.com. It's Main Street Preps this week with Tyler and Russell. Now, back to Mo and Chris, Main Street Sports Today.
Welcome back in as we are continuing this Hump Day edition. We are Wild and Wacky Wednesday coming up, the weirdest and wildest news from across the world coming at you in the next segment, so stick around. Lots to get to here in this segment, though, because, well, Blue Raider sports are well underway, and some of them coming to a close in the regular season, including hoops, with both men's and women taking on the Niners tonight. One of them is in Charlotte, the old stomping grounds of one JP Plant, and he's joining us on video right now. The voice of the Blue Raiders, Chip Walters. What's going on, man?
Well, just a beautiful day in Charlotte, North Carolina, and getting ready for tonight's game with Charlotte. Interesting week because instead of the traditional Thursday-Saturday schedule, this week in Conference USA, everybody's playing Wednesday and Saturday. And it's the second time this year that we've had a 72 hours between games instead of 48, and nobody can really answer why that is, other than somebody remembered somebody saying something at a meeting about, hey, it would be nice to have a little extra rest a couple of weeks during the season, and voila, here it is. The last one came when it was a Thursday-Sunday situation where everybody ended up playing on Super Bowl Sunday, but now it's tonight and then all games have to be played on Saturday afternoon, so everyone will have a chance to get home on Saturday evening, because the tournament will start. Some teams will play as early as Tuesday of next week down in Frisco.
Chip Walters, voice of the Blue Raiders, with us here on Main Street Sports today. The Blue Raiders riding a 9-game winning streak into tonight's action. Been pretty impressive, and getting the big 69-52 win Saturday over Western Kentucky at the Glass House to clinch the Eastern Division Championship. Chip, any thought of a letdown at this point? I mean, obviously they finished up an undefeated run at home with that win on Saturday. Back on the road for this last two at Charlotte tonight and at ODU on Saturday.
Well, I just got through recording my pregame interview with Coach McDevitt, and brought up that exact thing, and framed it that, a lot of times in the NBA, you see teams that have clinched a playoff spot, or baseball or whatever it may be, or football, resting guys. And he said, he goes, I don't see anything that they plan on doing any differently. I mean, he's going to start his starters. He goes, now, as far as, distribution of minutes, he goes, they're playing 9-10 guys anyway. His starters are playing 20 to 25 minutes, and the backup guys are all playing 15 to 20 minutes. So not a whole lot will change. And he made the point that there's a whole lot that can be done to add on to their postseason resume. Right now with 22 wins, and you've got 2 more regular season games left, so you potentially could have 24 wins. And should you do that and then get a win in the conference tournament, you become one of only 6 teams in 99 years at Middle to win 25 or more games. So there's that, and you also have Charlotte, who with the right combination of things could move up into the 2 spot. So, you're going to get your best from them. And Old Dominion also trying to play for seeding as well, because the Conference USA tournament is rewarding the top 2 seeds in each side with what's basically a double bye into the quarterfinals. If you finish 6th or 7th in either side, you would have to win 5 games in 5 days. If you finish 3rd through 5th, you would have to win 4 games in 4 days. But if you finish 1st or 2nd, you would have to win 3 games in 3 days to win it. So there's still a lot up in the air. But right now we do know that the Middle men will play on Thursday at 8:00 next week, as they have locked up the number 1 seed out of the Eastern Division.
And obviously, from a coaching standpoint, motivation isn't going to be an issue. But with Middle sitting at 21-7,
22.
I'm sorry, 22-7. Thank you. Wikipedia hasn't been updated. His 3 previous teams won 24 total games. So with 2 more victories this year, Nick McDevitt can match his total from his first 3 seasons. Pretty dramatic turnaround.
Yeah, it's one of the top 3 turnarounds in all of college basketball this year. And I even heard a couple of the national podcasts, the one from CBS, their basketball podcast, brought that up. And also the I don't know if you watched the Field of 68 After Dark podcast that's on Twitter and YouTube, which is pretty good. And they've been brought up on there. So that is, that's, I think their stated goals don't necessarily include that. That's just one of the little side benefits that could come, should they get that 24th win. So it'll be tough tonight because you've got Charlotte with a great score. Jameer Young had 26 in the game in Murfreesboro, and also that night Josh Jefferson had 30. So 56 between the two top scores, and it was a back and forth kind of deal. So we'll see how that all plays out tonight, and the Raiders trying to mend. Had a couple of bumps and bruises from the weekend, and we'll see how all that plays out tonight as well.
On the women's side, Middle at won 8 of their last 9 before dropping a 97-93 overtime decision to Western Kentucky over the weekend. How do you expect Rick and that bunch to bounce back from that one at home?
Well, they have bounced back strongly whenever they have had the opportunity to do that off of a loss, and I'm not sure there was a strong statement made, to the players that was, when you had a lead with 2.5 to play of a dozen points, that you don't let those get away, especially to your rival Western Kentucky. So I would expect Middle to come out strong tonight. Charlotte, had been the leader in the East for a good bit of the season. But I expect Middle to play extremely well tonight and Saturday, knowing that they have the opportunity to, within their own means, to pull themselves right back up into that top 2 positions and claim that extra bye as well.
Speaking with the voice of the Blue Raiders, Chip Walters, here on Main Street Sports today. I'm not sure because I can't find a story that gives me any details. So I will ask Chip, what's up with the court design contest?
I've seen what you've seen. If you go to goblueraiders.com, and I think it scrolls across the top and you can click on it and get into it. But I don't know who submitted the ones. Yeah, I don't know who submitted the ones that have been put out on Twitter, but I mean, they all had, they were all a little different and but all had some nice traits and details to them. So I think if you feel artistic and you've always wanted to design a basketball court, here's an opportunity to do it. I did click on it. Not that I have an artistic bone in my body, but I clicked on it and I did see that there's a template that you go by, and then you add your own splash or panache or however you want to add your creativity to that and make it all work. So, I mean, I don't want one that looks like Oregon, that looks like somebody spilled a can of paint out there on the floor, but something with a little more zip to it. Wouldn't be all bad either. I mean, we have it all in this league. At Rice, it's probably looks like the court for the Hickory Huskers, kind of, and then you go to FIU and you've got the beach and palm trees and everything else on the floor. So floors have changed a lot. So we'll see what people come up with.
Before we let you go, Chip, want to mention yesterday was a big day for you, huh? As you were traveling.
Well, if you talk about getting older is a big thing, then yes, it was. It was the 30th anniversary of my 29th birthday yesterday, Mo. So yes, another trip around the sun, and was able to stay on the correct side of the grass.
That's awesome.
Chip, I sorry to interrupt you, Mo, but on that topic, being in Charlotte last night on your birthday, the real question is, where did you eat last night?
Say that again.
Where did you do dinner last night in Charlotte?
I lost you there for just a second. Say that again, JP.
Where did you eat last night in Charlotte?
Last night, I went to I ate with the team actually in the hotel, but did have an opportunity to go out the back of the hotel here. We're staying. You would know where we are. We're at the Hilton University, and it has a kind of a lake behind it. And there were some friends of mine here in town, and we gathered over. There's a little Mexican place over there, Zapata's or something like that.
Yeah.
And had a little celebration. So that was what I was able to do.
Area, right? A little boardwalk.
Do what?
Is it
yes.
like a little boardwalk?
Yeah.
Yep. I know exactly
it
what
is.
you're talking about.
Yep. That's and we're stay right, and we're 9/10 of a mile, I think, from the arena. So it doesn't take us long to get there. We've stayed here forever. I mean, every time we've come to Charlotte, I think in every sport we've stayed at this hotel, except one time football stayed somewhere that was closer to the airport. I think maybe there was a convention or something in this hotel, but it's very convenient and they do a really good job with the teams. But our travel schedule here this week, we'll play tonight. We'll fly out tomorrow midday, practice tomorrow night in Norfolk, inside Chartway Arena. Then there's something going on, I think a concert or something on Friday night. So they'll practice in the practice facility and then on to and then play the game Saturday afternoon and come home and get ready to do it all again next week.
There you go. It's tough life.
Chip, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it. Looking forward to Conference USA tournament time.
That's right. We'll be talking sometime next week, and I'll let you know what my flight schedule is next week.
Appreciate it. When we come back, it's the weirdest and wildest news from across the world on Main Street Sports Today. Stick around. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Welcome back in to Main Street Sports Today. Before we get into Wild and Wacky, I want to defer to my co-host, the Hall of Famer, Mo Patton, because we ran out of time with Chip and didn't get to talk any diamond sports.
We always run out of time with Chip.
Sorry, I had a food question while he was in Charlotte.
Way more important.
That's okay. It's okay. No aspersions being cast. Chip is always great. He's always full of information. Yeah. Just wanted to mention MTSU's baseball dropped a 3-0 decision yesterday to Lipscomb to fall to 3-6 on the season. They play Western Carolina today in Chattanooga, which is odd since UTC doesn't have baseball. So I don't know. Maybe they're just meeting halfway. But want to mention
Where are they playing? If they don't have a
well,
I know there's a baseball park somewhere.
Minor league
yeah,
park.
it's right up from the.
So they're playing at the Lookouts.
Yeah, I
Okay.
would assume they're playing at the Lookouts. But Columbia Central product Jaden Ham has 2 of those 3 victories. He's 2-1 on the year in 5 appearances, 11 innings, 12 strikeouts. And I'm told that he touched 96 over at Coastal Carolina this past weekend, which, as warm as it was probably pretty easy. So, but good for him. Continuing to look for great things out of him.
No question. I mean, Jaden was one of my favorite players to watch when he was here in Columbia. So, all right, let's dive into Wild and a Wacky Wednesday with the weirdest and wildest news from across the world with the 2 zaniest guys this side of the Duck River.
So I've been told.
You say that like it's some with disdain, doesn't he? It's not like he's owning that. You don't own that?
I mean,
You are pretty zany.
Pretty zany.
Yeah.
Or is this like your political affiliation, a lowercase z for zany?
No lowercase.
Okay.
I would definitely. I would say I'm a high uppercase Z.
You own your zaniness?
I do.
Okay. We'll see.
All right, let's start in Australia. Does anybody here know? Here in the States, Bigfoot is also known as
Sasquatch.
Yep.
Yep.
In the northern parts, it's a Yeti.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It could be some of those things.
North of the border.
Do you know what it is known as in Australia?
Oh, they have one too?
A bush monster? Something with the bush. Maybe. I don't know. What?
A yowie.
A yowie.
Yowie. A yowie.
I could hear an Australian accent say that. Yeah.
So that's getting a little close to home for you.
Getting a little close to home. All I'm saying is I've not been to Australia, but apparently people have seen something like this because they're pretty sure it might be real.
You might want to shave then if you ever go to Australia.
That is top of the list. One witness, a Queensland resident, maintained that he encountered a creature in 1995 at his home on the Gold Coast hinterland. In the darkness behind the swamp, there was this noise, booming and guttural. It made my hair stand on end. Guttural. That is a
Deep
heck
in the
of
gut.
a word.
Yeah, deep in the gut.
They all describe a very powerful body and very muscular chest with a head perched on the shoulder, a bit like a muscular footballer.
Oh, that wouldn't be you. Oh, my bad.
Well, I mean, no, definitely not muscular, but I certainly am,
stout.
Stout. Yeah, that's a good word. Yeah.
Stoutened up.
Stoutened up. Yeah, he stoutens up when he needs to.
Were they at the ball game last night?
Okay. One, Bacon Man was on play-by-play.
Oh, boy.
But they couldn't get the NFHS to work because the internet was bad. So, anyway.
You've been there before.
It's understandable.
Recently.
So, anyway.
Go check out the first half.
I'm not going to Australia and taking any clothes. I'm taking all my clothes and long sleeves and pants, not taking any clothes off, not going to the beach, not none of that. Not happening.
Going hairless, huh?
Not happening. All right. This is something that our friends in Breaking Bad would be impressed with. Chicken was a great front. Okay, because it's understandable that you would have a big plant if you're cooking meth or chicken, you would have that.
Chicken plant. Okay.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
manufacturing.
Where you're cutting the chicken and sending it frozen to your,
a processing plant.
Sure.
Okay.
So it's understandable that you would have something like that if you own a chicken franchise where you might be making meth in the bottom of it. But of course, this was also a laundry, some sort of laundry.
It was a laundry
business.
Yeah, professional, a Cayenne laundry.
So anyway,
Yeah.
better idea.
It was owned by the chicken man, the guy that owned
Yes.
the chicken
Not
chain.
yes.
Yes.
Better idea, thought someone, instead of using chicken or laundry, we're just going to bring in all of our meth, 1,336 pounds of
Pounds.
1,336. That's
Pounds.
more than, that's almost 3/4 of a ton.
Yeah, almost a ton.
Yeah, it's
Good to know.
nearly 75% of a ton.
Yeah, look at that.
Disguised as onions.
I actually heard about this.
This is not not only a clever attempt to try and smuggle in narcotics, one I've not seen before. But Border Patrol officers inspected a tractor trailer carrying a shipment indicated as onions. My guess is, and I assume that they actually had onions. Okay, so there were actually onions in there, but within the onions there were baggies that were small and white, filled with methamphetamine.
There you go.
Because I'm sitting there thinking, like, you can't just not have actual onions. It would need to smell. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Well, and I don't remember if it was you all that I was discussing it with or somebody else, but the onions aren't necessarily going to smell in their natural state. They either have to be like
until you cut
unpeeled
into
or cut into or getting rotten.
Yeah,
before
the
they're really
skin
smell.
protects most of that
Yeah.
aroma.
So,
or chemical that makes you cry.
I mean, it was I give them an A for effort, though. Execution,
Pretty good
not so
ingenuity.
much. Yeah, and at least they tried.
That's all you can ask.
As Bart Simpson would say.
When you're
Let's go to our friends in Florida.
Florida.
Yes. Florida. By the way, Florida man _, 2 underscores, is where you can find some of the best stuff in the world.
you were really excited when you came across this. the other day.
Because it made my job a lot easier on Wednesdays.
Yep.
Got
a dedicated Florida man. Love it.
So if you are being stopped for whatever on the road and maybe you have some paraphernalia in your vehicle,
Some bags of onions with meth, maybe.
perhaps,
Okay. Maybe.
what do you do with the smoking device in the event that you're pulled over?
Like the pipe?
Yeah.
I know what one person did with it.
Yep.
Did he stick it down his pants?
Yep.
Okay.
And that's,
Lit or
no,
recently lit?
Luckily not currently
It had
on
cooled
fire.
off.
Yeah. Female.
She, okay.
Female. Yep. That's it. So, all I'm saying is you got to be careful with your smoking devices. But
theoretically, we don't.
But it's probably easier.
Don't do drugs.
It's probably easier to hide than our friend who in Brevard County, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't do this. It's easier to hide a smoking device than it is to try and steal a crossbow by sticking it down your pants.
The crossbow.
The whole bow. Wearing gray sweatpants, it's just in there. Like nobody's going to see it. Sir, it's a crossbow.
Is it a
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, but I wasn't gonna go there, Mo.
And tried to steal it from a True Value store. Not like Walmart where nobody's paying attention, but True Value?
Yeah.
Where they sell a crossbow every 2 months.
Yeah. I mean, and there's 4 people in there total with you and the employees. Like, come on, man. Darren Durant can be seen in a video putting a crossbow in his britches and then trying to walk out of the store.
Well, maybe people were happy to see him. I don't know.
He was arrested, charged with felony theft. So he was happy to see.
Get us out of here.
I'll tell you what, he wasn't happy to see those lights
wasn't.
coming behind him, was he?
Get us out of here.
Oh, yeah. We got to go.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel. We're going to talk to Jeff Pearlman to talk about Winning Time coming up on HBO. We'll have Coach's Corner as well and plenty of sports to talk about. We'll have previews for boys championships. We'll find out what happens tonight in the girls region finals. All that and more. So come back 2:00 tomorrow on Main Street Sports Day. It's going to be a lot of fun. See you then.